Have you ever wondered if joining a coven is right for you? Hi, my name is Ethony. I am the High Priestess of the online coven, the Awakened Soul Coven. I have been practicing the craft for over 22 years now, and I am also a tarot professional. So I have a few things to say about working with a coven. It's not right for everybody, so I put together this list to helpfully give you some things to think about of whether working in a coven is right for you. For new bumblebees who aren't quite sure what a coven actually is, it is a term that was coined in 1921 to refer to a gathering or group of witches who meet regularly. The word coven actually wasn't used a lot in English until Margaret Murray published her famous book in 1921 called The Witch Cult in Western Europe. She used the term to define a group of witches who are of 13 in number who gather regularly. Now, however, we use the term as modern practitioners to refer to groups of witches, of course, but also small circles or intimate gatherings of witches who come together to celebrate, learn, practice magic, and build community. It's important to note that everything that I'm sharing with you right now isn't applicable to every coven, every practice, every circle that you're going to come across. Every coven will have its own rules and regulations in how they do things, so please keep that in mind as well. Before we get into the good stuff, if you could do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button and maybe let me know in the comments below what fictional witch you would love to have tea with, and spill the tea about their life and their magic. Let me know in the comments. It takes 5 seconds and really it helps me out a lot. Thank you so much, and let's get into it. Working in a coven may not be right for you if you have a group of witchy friends that you can talk to and also share your practice with. Working in a coven gifts you just that, people who are going to get you. These are people who understand when you go for a hike and you come back with 15 rocks that just had to come home with you, and they don't question that very action. As a matter of fact, they probably have rocks in their pockets right now. They understand that you're going to start counting down to Samhain and Halloween mid-summer. And while everybody else is out swimming in the lakes and the oceans, you're craving for the leaves to turn color and all the pumpkins and all the Halloween decorations to arrive. The amazing thing about having people who understand you work with you in a coven is that they can share your stories. They may have had similar experiences and they can help you on your way. But most importantly, it's friendship and connection. And really, that's incredibly priceless to everybody. Working in a coven may not be right for you if you are fantastic with time management and schedule regular practice for your craft. However, if you are like many of us and you don't necessarily sit down with your planner for the month and go through when you're going to have time to do meditations or rituals, or even when the moon is full, a coven can be perfect for you. Most covens, especially teaching covens like my Awakened Soul Coven, schedule in events. They will do prep work for you so that you can turn up to a ritual and participate without having to do all the legwork of getting everything ready. Covens schedule time for regular practice, which is important for your own spiritual development if you're looking to access and work with your gifts regularly. You'll never have to guess when the next ritual is or what work you're focusing on when you're working in a coven. Working in a coven may not be right for you if you know exactly what you're working towards and what your spiritual goals are, and even having a plan for those goals. However, if you're a little unsure of where to start, or even where you're heading in the middle of your journey, working in a coven will give you access to experienced witches and mentors. These people are going to give you opportunities to explore different aspects of your craft. The best covens also ensure that they hold space for you to figure out what works best for you. Having that supportive environment where you figure things out while you do trial and error, while you discover what divinatory practice works for you or what gods and goddesses work for you, if any. That is so amazing with a coven and having people who can help you figure that out. Working in a coven may not be for you if you are extremely introverted. While a traditional face-to-face coven may not work for you because a lot of them will meet regularly in person and there'll be a lot of interaction, an online coven may be just what you're looking for. Not only do you not have to necessarily go outside, and I'm not saying all introverts are agoraphobic, I'm just saying sometimes you don't have the energy to go out and show up and be on. But if you can just do your practice from your PJs or even just show up and have a conversation with people and be a part of a group, that can be wonderful for those people who are really introverted. So online covens may be right for you. Working in a coven may not be right for you if you have people you can contact to help troubleshoot your practice, your magic, and even get clarity on your divination practices and readings. I know from experience over my witchy lifetime that having people that I can go to and ask questions about my practice has been invaluable. There have been days where I have desperately needed to speak to somebody, or I've had an experience and I really needed something validated, or I had a spell that went absolutely tits up and I needed to speak to someone. Having a coven, having mentors and people that I knew in a community really helped me feel sure and give me the encouragement in my own practice to believe in my abilities. One of the things I've really taken pride in fostering with my Awakened Soul Coven is having a team of mentors, having access to myself as the High Priestess every week, and having massive community get-togethers and study groups and book clubs so that you actually do get that sense of community and you have multiple opportunities to connect with people and ask questions to help you feel like you've got a handle on your practice and you're really going in the right direction. Working in a coven may not be right for you if you have access to years of spells, techniques, practices, recipes, and maybe even a family practice. Some people are really lucky. Finding a local coven that they click with can be very easy, or they even have a family practice that they come into, by birth, and they really connect to that practice. But other people are on their own, and I was one of them when I was a baby witch. Working with a coven can give you a blueprint to work from and decades of experience to work with. And in the case of my coven, hundreds of years of experience from witches all over the world, from different backgrounds and traditions to ask questions and draw from in making your own practice. Working with a coven may not be right for you if you hate the idea of workbooks and book lists and learning and all of the information that comes with education for something you're really passionate about, and you really don't want a modern school of witchcraft. Or you might be like me, a regular Hermione Granger who wants to learn everything about the craft. And I can tell you, after 22 years plus in the craft, I know I haven't learned everything. If you're looking for something where you're going to get workbooks and knowledge and homework, which is actually really fun, and practical applications for your magic and playlists and spells and tarot spreads and rituals, then working with a coven may be right for you. And working with the Awakened Soul Coven gives you all of that and more. One of the benefits of a teaching coven, which is like a modern school of witchcraft, is that you're going to learn techniques that build on each other in order to make your practice really well rounded. With those techniques and lessons, it becomes an integrated part of the craft that you make for yourself. Most covens as well ensure that it's not all book learning. As a matter of fact, most covens ensure that there is practice in the craft, because that's really where the rubber meets the road. I have often said that my Awakened Soul Coven is a group of solitary practitioners who meet from all over the world, who come together to find community, support, learning, and magic. We all have our own practices. We all have permission to build our own craft and specialities. We can all work with our own deity. And that's not common for a lot of covens, to allow you to have so much flexibility, but I am finding that to become a little bit more common. It really doesn't matter if you decide to be solitary for life. If you choose a coven like my Awakened Soul Coven, or you find a local coven yourself. Whether you decide to join one is a personal choice that only you can make. No matter what anyone says, you have to make choices that's right for you and work with people that you align with. Trust your gut when you meet people. It never steers you wrong. And I hope you find your spiritual path, whatever it is. And I hope you found this video helpful. Until next time, stay magical, my fantastic bumblebees.